Welcome to Strategies to Support a Diverse Classroom. This is a video reflection on Theories and Practice Final. My name is Richard Sanchez, and this is for the online teaching internship for Dr. Warren. We're going to give you a mini course overview, and we'll be talking about the introduction to this diversity mini classroom. We'll be talking about the course learning outcomes. Module 1, what is bias? Module 2, teaching strategies for supporting diverse students. Conclusion and questions, if you have any. And finally, the references. During this course, we also have to mention that there is a famous American poet who once stated, "We are increasingly recognizing and accepting, respecting, and celebrating our cultural diversity." Her name was Maya Angelou, and she was an American poet. Her words will impact education because she is engaged with introducing diversity in education. While diversity leads to a more productive, tolerant, and creative society, through the inclusion of people of all backgrounds, cultures, perspectives, we can develop a greater respect and appreciation of the world around us. The Strategies to Support a Diverse Classroom mini course introduces educators to strategies to support and lead to a more productive, tolerant, and creative society. While we continue to engage with the diversity, it is important for us to know what technology are we using. The course outlines learning outcomes. You will have an opportunity to learn about the strategies for supporting multicultural students in a classroom after completing this mini course. You will be able to mitigate bias within themselves, advocate for diversity in the classroom, and implement specific strategies for supporting diversity in the classroom. We'll be beginning with the technology that we'll be using, so we're going to start here. The course is in a system called a Blackboard, in which case you will have to sign in. Once you open the mini course, you will be able to observe on the right-hand side the two modules. Module 1 will be discussing what is bias, introducing you to bias. The discussion board, you're able to address your own personal bias by taking the implicit aptitude test, which has about 14 different categories in which you can explore to see if you're biased or not. Why diversity? And finally, advocating for diversity. In Module 1, what is bias? We'll be exploring bias and what it means, which is a systemic error in thinking that impacts one's choice of judgments. And this was said by Vinny in 2018. We will introduce you to bias, which can influence our perception of the world, thus leading us to poor decision-making process. Addressing our own personal bias by taking the implicit aptitude test. Now that we learned a little bit about bias, you can ask yourself, are we biased? And then by taking the aptitude test, you'll be able to determine if you are or not. Why diversity? Diversity is strongly associated with the racial diversity. However, this is only reflection of one dimension of human reality. I have used the backward design theory, which helped me align both the goals and the outcome of the learning activity and assessment. To give you an idea of week number 1, we will be able to talk about a timeline, which will be introducing you to bias. You have an opportunity on day one to see a video by Anderson Cooper, a reporter, American reporter, that does an interview with children 3 to 5 discussing black or white. Then on day number 3, you'll be able to address your personal bias association test, which is the fun part of this one. You'll be able to interact with the test itself. During your discussion, your test discussion board addressing your personal bias, you can click here on Project Implicit, and you'll be able to see the test itself and indication. You will scroll to the bottom as you wish to proceed. And on the left-hand side, you'll be able to see all 14 categories. Choose anyone that it appeals to you and take the test to determine if you are biased or not. As you move to the week 1, we'll be able to discover why diversity. By day number 4, and preparedness to the assignment, and creating either a poster or a 3-minute elevator speech. As we continue to the mini course, we will be engaging on week number 2, which is support of diversity. On module number 2, which is teaching strategies for supporting diverse students. Lesson 1, what is empathy? We'll be having a discussion board, building empathy in the classroom, with a picture of Uncle Sam, which is awesome because you'll be able to create your own imagination in regards to the photo. Lesson number 2, peer mentoring. Lesson number 3, using authentic learning. And on that one, we'll be able to have an opportunity to develop a lesson plan, and finally developing a lesson plan which supports diversity. We'll be moving forward for lesson number 1. What is empathy? We have a wonderful rendition with a photo of Uncle Sam. Under this historical cartoon in which the teacher, which is Uncle Sam, is throwing down on the diverse children from Hawaii, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines, who are separated from the white children. This discussion board will enable specific engagement and interaction opportunities with your peers, instructors, and with the content. As we move through the process of week number 2, we will have the opportunity on lesson 2 for peer mentoring. There is a video, peer support program case study, first primary school, in regards to a 4-minute example of how to peer mentor children, especially when it comes to the assignment. You'll be able to build an assignment in which we will be able to work in teams of 3 or 4. And the last lesson for week number 2 will be the authentic assessment, which is assignment on this lesson will be able to help you develop a lesson plan, which is developing a 1 to 2 page reflection on your lesson around each of the strategies you use. And preparedness for the final assignment, which is development of a lesson plan, supporting diversity. In this assignment, you will work together in teams and role play a lesson using 3 strategies you learned for supporting diversity in the classroom. We can talk about the timeline for week number 2. To recap what we're going to be learning on week 2, we will start with what is empathy by day 1. Discussion board, which is the Uncle Sam discussion ponder, which you can complete by day 3. Peer mentoring, which you can complete by day 4. And finally, your lesson plan and your development of the plan that supports diversity by day number 6. In conclusion, while diversity leads for a more productive, tolerant, and creative society, the goal of this mini-course is to encourage teachers to use strategies for supporting a culturally diverse classroom as an instructional tool. Thus, the inclusion of people for all backgrounds, cultures, and perspectives, we can develop a greater respect and appreciation for the world around us. Thanks. Does anybody have any questions? My name again is Richard Sanchez, and this is my contact information. Thank you so much for participating in my mini course. And these are the references in regards to the resources used to produce this class. Thank you.